What if I told you that willpower isn't some kind of magical trait you're either born with or you're not? What if it was a real, physical part of your brain that you could actually train just like a bicep at the gym? Well, today we're opening up the doors to the gym for your brain. You know the feeling, right? We've all been there. You get super excited about a new workout plan, or maybe you pick up a guitar for the first time. The first few days are great. It's all new and shiny. But then it gets tough. It gets a little boring. And that's usually when we quit. So why? Why does that happen to pretty much all of us? Well, for a long, long time, the old school thinking was that quitting is just a character flaw. You're lazy or you're not disciplined, but the science tells a completely different story. And honestly, it's a much more hopeful one. It's not about your character at all. It's about the physical state of a specific muscle inside your brain. So let's get right into it. It's time to meet this willpower muscle. Let's get properly introduced to the part of your brain that's in charge of grit, of drive, of that ability to just keep going when things get tough. Okay, here's the scientific name. It's called the Anterior Midcingulate Cortex. Let's just call it the aMCC for short. This is a real, tangible spot in your brain. And what's so amazing is that neuroscientists have found that it literally grows when you intentionally force yourself to do things you don't feel like doing. So here's the easiest way to think about it. The aCTC is basically the bicep for your willpower. Every single time you push through that feeling of I want to quit, you're essentially doing a bicep curl for your tenacity. Okay, so how does this actually work? How does this neurological muscle get bigger and stronger? What's the science behind building a will of iron? It works almost exactly like resistance training at the gym. When you lift a heavy weight, you create these tiny micro tears in the muscle, right? And as they heal, the muscle grows back stronger. Well, it's pretty much the same thing with your brain. When you push through that mental friction, your brain releases chemicals that tell the aMCC to get tougher, to build stronger connections. It physically thickens.
So, that tendency to quit the second things get boring, it's not a moral failing, it's a symptom. It's a sign that your aMCC might have atrophied a bit from lack of use. It's just a weak muscle. But you know what's great about a weak muscle? It can always be trained.
All right, so if the aMCC is our muscle, what's our workout? What's the training plan? Turns out, the system is incredibly simple, and it's called the 15% push. This is it. This is the magic number. 15% seems to be that sweet spot. It's just the right amount of resistance to trigger growth without totally burning you out. Your workout begins at a moment we all know very, very well, the plateau. This is that point where your brain just starts screaming, I'm bored, let's check our phone, let's go do literally anything else. That feeling of friction, that's not a stop sign. That is the starting line for your workout. And the routine couldn't be simpler. First, you just have to notice your usual quitting point. Then, when you hit that wall, don't give in. Instead, you just do a little math. Calculate 15% of what you've already done and push yourself for just that little bit more. So if you ran for 20 minutes, you're going to run for just 3 more. If you read 10 pages, you're going to read another page and a half. That specific, targeted push is the perfect rep to get that aMC to grow. And you know what the best part is? You don't need to block out big chunks of time for this. You can sneak these little brain workouts into tiny moments all throughout your day. I mean, just look at how small these efforts can be. Let's say you can only stand a cold shower for 10 seconds. Fine. Tomorrow aim for 11 and a half. Do your eyes glaze over after 5 pages of a boring textbook? Just push yourself to finish 1 more page. Holding a plank for 60 seconds? Tomorrow, go for 69. All these little micro workouts, they really add up to build a seriously strong willpower muscle. So what's the big reward for all these tiny daily struggles? It's huge. You're actually literally rewiring your brain to be more tenacious. By consistently doing these little workouts, you're physically making your aMCC thicker. This raises your whole default level of grit. Pushing through difficulty stops being this huge dramatic struggle and starts becoming more of an automatic response. And this strength isn't just for one thing. A stronger aMCC helps you stick to your diet, finish that huge project at work, and even hold your ground in a tough conversation. So just remember this. Tenacity isn't some fixed trait you were born with. It's a skill you build. You can physically rewire your brain for it. And all of this leaves us with just one last question. Think about your day today, or maybe tomorrow. What is one small, totally manageable moment of friction where you can try the 15% push? What's going to be the first workout for your aMSC?